Did you know that some nuts older adults eat every day quietly harm their health? While nuts are often praised for their heart benefits and healthy fats, not all nuts are created equal. And in many cases, it's not the nut itself, but how it's prepared, flavored, or consumed that turns it from a healthy snack into something that slowly chips away at your well-being. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 specific kinds of nuts that, when eaten regularly by seniors, may actually shorten your lifespan. Whether it's from raising blood pressure, spiking blood sugar, or quietly damaging your heart over time, these are the ones you need to watch out for, especially if you've been trying to eat healthier without realizing what's really going on inside those snack bags. Stay with me until the end, because this isn't about fear or cutting out all your favorites. It's about clarity. You'll learn what to look for on labels, which habits to rethink, and how to protect your long-term health without giving up the foods you enjoy. And we're not just pointing fingers. We're explaining why these choices matter more after 60 and what your body actually needs instead. If you've ever reached for a handful of mixed nuts, thinking you were doing something good for yourself, only to wonder later why your blood pressure or digestion still fell off, this video might hold the answer. Let's dive in. Number 1, salted peanuts and blood pressure overload. Salted peanuts may seem harmless, convenient, satisfying, even nostalgic. But for seniors, they can quietly become one of the most dangerous daily snacks when eaten in excess. The issue isn't the peanut itself, but what's added to it. A heavy coating of salt that often exceeds your recommended daily sodium in just a handful. And over time, that salt doesn't just flavor your food, it stiffens your blood vessels, raises your blood pressure, and puts an enormous strain on your heart. As we age, our arteries naturally become less flexible. They've been pumping for decades, and they feel it. When we add high-sodium foods to our diet, especially in concentrated salty snacks, we increase the amount of fluid in our bloodstream, forcing the heart to work harder and faster to push that blood through already aging vessels. That's why high sodium intake is directly linked to heart failure, stroke, and kidney decline, particularly in people over 60. I knew a man named Carl, 72, who used to keep a large tin of salted peanuts right next to his recliner. "Just a little crunch during the game," he'd say. But over time, his blood pressure crept up. His doctor adjusted his medication, but the readings still hovered high. When his wife finally checked the label on his snack, they discovered it had over 400 milligrams of sodium per serving, and Carl was eating several servings a day. Once, he cut them out and replaced them with unsalted almonds and fruit. His numbers improved within weeks. What makes salted peanuts tricky is that they don't taste overwhelmingly salty. That's because our taste buds adapt quickly. The more salt you eat, the less you notice. So even if you don't think it's a problem, your body may be telling you otherwise through swelling in your ankles, headaches, or pressure behind your eyes. And for seniors who are managing high blood pressure, this is especially risky. Most older adults are already taking medication to control their numbers, which means every bite of extra sodium forces the heart and kidneys to compensate. Over time, that extra strain chips away at your energy, your resilience, and ultimately, your longevity. The good news is that the solution isn't complicated. Swapping salted peanuts for lightly roasted, unsalted varieties or mixing in raw nuts with other snacks can dramatically reduce your sodium without giving up the snack entirely. You still get the protein, the crunch, and the satisfaction, but without the silent damage that comes with every shake of salt. Choosing what you eat each day isn't just about habit. It's about protecting your future. And when it comes to salted peanuts, less really is more. More comfort, more clarity, more years doing what you love with the people you care about. All from paying attention to one small detail that can make a big difference. Number 2, sugar-coated almonds and blood sugar spikes. Sugar-coated almonds, whether labeled as honey roasted, candied, or glazed, might look harmless in the snack aisle, but for older adults, they come with a hidden cost. What starts as a handful of sweet, crunchy nuts can quietly become a daily blood sugar roller coaster that wears your body down faster than you might expect. And the danger here lies not in the almond itself, but in the layer of sugar baked onto its surface. Almonds, in their raw or roasted form, are known for their health benefits: healthy fats, fiber, and a satisfying crunch that supports heart and brain function. But when they're turned into a sweet snack, they lose much of that value. The added sugars in honey roasted or caramelized almonds can raise your blood glucose quickly, especially in seniors whose metabolism has already slowed and whose insulin sensitivity is lower than it used to be. There's a woman I once met named Patricia, 69, who was told by a friend that almonds were great for heart health. So she started buying a large container of honey-roasted almonds and snacked on them daily. She wasn't diabetic, but after a few months, her doctor noticed that her A1C had climbed into the pre-diabetic range. Patricia was shocked until she checked the nutrition label and saw that each small serving had nearly as much sugar as a cookie. "I thought I was being healthy," she said, "but I was deserting all day without knowing it." For older adults, the problem with this kind of snacking isn't just the sugar. It's how that sugar behaves in the body. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly, it damages the lining of blood vessels, accelerates inflammation, and contributes to the fatigue, brain fog, and even nerve damage over time. And because it often happens slowly with no immediate pain or warning signs, most people don't realize the connection until much later. And it's not just the blood sugar itself. These sugar-coated nuts are often roasted in cheap oils like canola or soybean oil, further inflaming the body. The combination of sugar and refined oil creates a snack that triggers cravings, encourages overeating, and undermines the very health benefits people think they're getting when they reach for a nut-based snack. That's why it's so important to read the label. Look for ingredients like corn syrup, maltodextrin, cane sugar, or anything ending in O's. If they're listed near the top, you're not eating almonds. You're eating candy disguised as health food, and your body deserves better. For those who still crave a bit of sweetness, there are smarter alternatives. A few raw almonds paired with a couple of fresh dates or apple slices can satisfy your sweet tooth while supporting your digestion and blood flow, not working against it. It's not about avoiding flavor. It's about fueling your body with the kind of sweetness that heals instead of harms. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 4, excess cashews and hidden inflammation. Cashews are often seen as the buttery nut, rich, creamy, satisfying, and for many seniors, they've become a daily go-to snack. But here's the problem. While cashews do contain some beneficial nutrients, they also come with a catch. When eaten in large amounts, especially every day, they can quietly contribute to kidney strain, joint discomfort, and internal inflammation that accelerates aging more than most people realize. Unlike other nuts, cashews are high in oxalates, a natural compound found in many plants. In small amounts, oxalates are harmless, but in larger amounts, especially for people over 60, they can begin to cause problems. Oxalates bind to calcium in the body and form crystals that can build up in the kidneys or joints. For seniors who are already at higher risk for kidney stones, joint stiffness, or arthritis, this can quietly make things worse without obvious warning signs. There was a man named Leonard, 77, who told me he started eating a handful of cashews every night as his healthy treat before bed. But over the course of a year, he began experiencing more joint pain in his fingers and knees, and his doctor noted higher than usual markers of inflammation. When they looked at his diet, the daily cashew habit stood out. After switching to walnuts and macadamia nuts, his discomfort gradually eased, and so did the swelling. What makes this so tricky is that cashews don't feel like a processed snack. They don't come coated in sugar or salt, though sometimes they do, and they seem natural. But even natural foods can work against your body if they're consumed in a way that overwhelms your system, especially a system that's already been through decades of wear and tear. The problem isn't that cashews are evil. It's that we often don't measure how much we're eating. A few cashews here and there might be fine, but when they become the main nut you're relying on, or you're finishing off handfuls without thinking, those oxalates start adding up, and your body, especially your kidneys and joints, will feel the burden long before you connect the dots. If you've been dealing with nagging joint stiffness, lower back pain, or even digestive discomfort, and you've been eating cashews regularly, it may be worth taking a short break to see how your body responds. Sometimes a small change in habit reveals a surprising source of relief. And remember, variety is key. No single nut should dominate your diet. Each has its strengths and its drawbacks. By rotating your snacks and listening to how your body responds, you give yourself the best chance at long-term comfort, energy, and mobility. Because at the end of the day, how you feel matters more than how a food is labeled. And if something delicious is quietly working against you, it's time to reconsider whether it still deserves a place in your daily routine. Number 4. Macadamia nuts, processed with added oils. Macadamia nuts are often seen as the luxury nut, smooth, rich, and satisfying in a way few others are. And in their natural form, they actually carry a lot of health benefits. Monounsaturated fats that support heart health, anti-inflammatory properties, and a good dose of fiber. But for many older adults, the version they're eating isn't the raw or dry roasted kind. It's the packaged kind, pre-roasted in refined oils, salted and sealed in a shiny bag that quietly turns a healthy snack into something much more harmful. The real danger with macadamia nuts doesn't usually come from the nut itself. It comes from what they're cooked in. Most commercially available macadamia nuts are roasted in low-quality oils like canola or soybean oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fats, which, when consumed in excess, promote inflammation throughout the body, especially in the arteries, joints, and digestive system. And for people over 60, that inflammation doesn't just cause stiffness or fatigue. It increases the risk of heart disease, memory decline, and even insulin resistance. I once met a woman named Susan, 68, who was trying to eat healthier and had swapped out cookies for macadamia nuts. She thought she was doing herself a favor, but after a few months, she noticed more bloating, less energy, and more discomfort in her lower back. When she brought in the bag she'd been eating from, the first ingredient after macadamia was vegetable oil, something she hadn't noticed. Her nutritionist helped her switch to dry roasted macadamia with no added oils. And within weeks, the change in how she felt was undeniable. The reason this matters so much is because older adults often already carry a baseline level of inflammation. Years of wear on the joints, medications, processed foods, and even stress contribute to it. So when you add in more inflammatory oils, even in small amounts, you quietly tip the balance even further, making it harder for the body to repair itself, regulate mood, or maintain cardiovascular stability. And many people never realize it's happening. They feel sluggish, a bit more irritable, maybe slightly more achy than usual, but they chalk it up to getting older rather than asking whether the healthy-look snack in the cupboard might be working against them. So here's the key. Always read the label. If your macadamia nuts, or any nut for that matter, list vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, or anything similar as an added ingredient, that's your sign to skip it. Go for dry roasted or raw versions instead. And if you want a little flavor, season them yourself at home with a pinch of sea salt or some gentle spices. That way, you stay in control of what's going into your body. Because food isn't just about taste. It's about how it makes you feel an hour later, a day later, and a decade later. And when it comes to nuts, even the good ones can become harmful when they've been processed for shelf life instead of health. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, flavored mixed nuts and hidden chemical overload. Flavored mixed nuts, whether smoky barbecue, cheese dusted, or sweet and spicy, have become increasingly popular among older adults looking for a convenient, tasty snack. They seem like a fun upgrade from plain nuts. But here's what most people don't realize. These flavored versions are often packed with artificial additives, preservatives, and synthetic flavorings that your body may no longer tolerate the way it once did. The issue isn't just taste, it's what comes with it. Many flavored nut blends contain monosodium glutamate, MSG, artificial colors, high fructose corn syrup, and chemical preservatives like BHT or TBHQ. These compounds may extend shelf life and enhance flavor, but they also increase oxidative stress in the body, promote chronic inflammation, and disrupt the gut's delicate balance. For older adults whose detox systems and digestion naturally slow with age, this can mean more fatigue, joint pain, brain fog, or gastrointestinal discomfort without any clear explanation. I remember a man named Marvin, 74, who was proud of switching from potato chips to mixed nuts as a healthier snack. He especially liked the barbecue variety, sweet, smoky, and easy to grab. But after a few months, he started noticing that his stomach felt bloated almost every evening, and his hands were starting to swell more often. When his doctor reviewed his diet, the flavored nuts stood out. Once Marvin switched to plain unsalted nuts and added his own seasonings at home, those symptoms started to ease, and he said he felt lighter and clearer within a few weeks. What makes these processed nut blends dangerous is that they create the illusion of healthy eating. You think you're making a better choice, but in reality, you may be exposing your body to more chemicals than a candy bar would. And because many older adults eat these snacks every day, between meals, during television, or as a substitute for dessert, those chemicals build up slowly over time. And there's more. The artificial flavorings used in many of these products can interfere with appetite signals, making you more likely to overeat. Some are designed to trigger dopamine responses in the brain, leading to what nutritionists call bliss point addiction, where you keep reaching for more, not because you're hungry, but because your brain has been tricked into craving another handful. For older adults trying to protect their hearts, manage inflammation, or maintain steady energy, these hidden ingredients can quietly undermine all the good efforts you're making elsewhere. You might take your medications faithfully, watch your portions, and walk daily. But if your snacks are filled with low-grade industrial additives, it's like trying to run a clean engine with dirty oil. The good news, you don't have to give up flavor. You can buy plain, raw, or dry roasted nuts and season them at home using natural herbs and spices. A pinch of cinnamon, paprika, turmeric, or sea salt can create a delicious customized blend without adding chemical baggage. You get to enjoy the crunch, the taste, and the satisfaction while giving your body real nourishment it can use and trust. Because what you eat every day shapes how you feel, how you move, and how long your body can keep showing up for the life you want to live. And when it comes to nuts, a little awareness goes a long way. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to think about how small choices, like the kind of nuts you reach for, can quietly shape your health, your energy, and even how long and well you live. The 5 types we've talked about today aren't bad because they're nuts. They're risky because of what's been done to them. Added salt, sugar, oils, chemicals, or just being eaten in excess. When you're younger, your body might bounce back from these habits. But as we get older, everything becomes more sensitive. Your kidneys, your heart, your digestion. That's why these details matter more than ever now. You don't have to give up snacking. You don't have to live in fear. But you do deserve the truth about what's in your food and how it makes you feel. If even one of these nuts is part of your daily routine, don't panic. Just take a second look. Swap it out. Try something simpler, cleaner, closer to the real thing. These small shifts don't just help you avoid illness. They remind your body and your mind that you're still choosing to care for yourself, still choosing life. And when you make that choice every day in quiet ways that no one else sees, the results add up. clear energy, less inflammation, fewer regrets, more freedom to keep doing what you love. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.